Hey meal preppers, welcome back to my channel. If you're new around here, I'm Denise and I share easy meal prep recipes that are going to make your life so much easier during the week. Today I am back with another prep ahead meal prep plan. I am super excited about this. We are cooking up a big batch of pulled pork and we're going to use them in 3 dinners through the week. So this is a great way because pulled pork makes a huge batch. You make sure that you use it all up. And the recipes are like different flavored, so it doesn't feel like you're eating the same thing over and over. And the recipes we're going to prep on prep day are going to mean that dinners later in the week take like maybe 10 minutes of our time to put together. So it's such a lifesaver. I have a printable shopping list for you on the blog if you want to prep exactly what I'm prepping today, and I will link you to it in the description box below. So we're going to break this video into 2 parts. The first part is prep day, so everything you're going to prep on Meal Prep Sunday or whenever you do your meal prep, and then we'll show you how to cook them on cook day. So let's get started. Okay, so on meal prep day, we are going to start by prepping our longest recipe, which is definitely going to be the pulled pork. So I'm using my slow cooker to cook it. I also have directions for you on the blog to cook it in the Instant Pot. We are going to start by adding tomato sauce. Not to be confused with ketchup, this is like a passata or a sort of pureed tomato sauce. Chili powder, cumin, salt, chipotle chili powder, onion powder, garlic powder, apple cider vinegar, and maple syrup. We're going to stir this all up so the spices get mixed into the sauce, and then we're going to add a 2 to 3 pound pork shoulder. I'm using a boneless pork shoulder. You can use bone-in. I just find it so much easier to shred it after the cooking is over when I use a boneless pork shoulder. So we're gonna cook this low and slow for 8 hours. So after the 8-hour cook time is up, we're going to transfer our pork shoulder to a clean bowl, and there's a lot of fat on this pork shoulder, so I'm gonna go in with my tongs and just pull off the fat that I can see. And I'm gonna take my electric hand mixer and shred the pork. This is like the best way to shred pork. I will never go back to using forks. This is so much easier. We are now going to add some of our cooking liquid back to the pork. I actually don't mind tossing it in all of the cooking liquid. It does end up quite liquidy, but it adds so much flavor and I really like it this way. But some people like a less liquidy pulled pork, so you can just add the cooking liquid to taste. And one note is that we are going to need the cooking liquid when we make one of our recipes, so don't throw that away, hang on to it for later. Okay, now that our pulled pork is ready, we're going to start prepping our other ingredients. So the first thing we're going to do is shred some cheese. And now we're going to start putting together the recipes. So the first recipe we're going to put together is a pulled pork zucchini boat recipe. So we're going to take some zucchini. Now I advise looking for like a long straight zucchini. Don't look for curvy ones. They just don't work as well in this recipe. Cut off the stem, slice them in half lengthwise, and scoop out the seeds. Arrange them in a baking dish and spoon the pulled pork into the boats. Sprinkle with cheese and cover. So this recipe can be refrigerated for up to 4 days, and I have successfully frozen it. I actually was even able to bake it from frozen. So if you're looking for directions on how to do this, check the description box below for the link to the zucchini pulled pork boats. Okay guys, we're going to start prepping our second dinner recipe, and this is a sweet potato pulled pork skillet. So we're going to start by slicing some bell peppers. And we're going to cut some sweet potatoes into about 1/2 to 3/4 inch cubes. Try to make sure you get them as uniformly as possible. I know it's kind of hard sometimes with sweet potatoes because they're weirdly shaped, but just do your best. Now we're going to add them to a large meal prep container. These are the 3-quart glass IKEA meal prep containers. I really love these. To one end of the meal prep container, we will add our bell peppers, and to the other end, we will add our sweet potatoes. Now, this part is important. Make sure that you add your pulled pork over the sweet potatoes, because if sweet potatoes are not covered in some sort of liquid, they will start to harden up and they are not great when you go to cook them. So we're going to take the pulled pork cooking liquid and we are going to pour it over top of the sweet potatoes. Make sure this is completely cool before you store it in the fridge. So you can store this for up to 4 days in the fridge, and you can even freeze it for up to 3 months. And that's our second recipe. Our third recipe, we are not going to assemble on prep day. We are just going to prep components and it will make it super fast for us to put together on cook day. So we are making pulled pork burrito bowls. So for this recipe, you are going to need some cooked rice and some lettuce. All right guys, that takes care of prep day. So that wasn't too hard. I mean, I think that probably took under an hour of active prep time, and now putting our dinners together is gonna be so easy through the week. So now let's talk about how to cook these recipes up. We'll start with the zucchini pulled pork boats. So all you're going to do is put them in the oven. Seriously, that's how easy it is. So we're going to cook these for 20 to 25 minutes until the zucchini are slightly tender. The cheese should be nice and melty. We're going to sprinkle them with fresh tomatoes and sliced green onions. Our second recipe is the pulled pork skillet. So all we're going to do on cook time is transfer it to a large skillet, and you're going to need a lid for the skillet. Stir it all up and cover and cook. You will want to uncover and stir it several times during the cook time just to make sure that everything cooks through evenly. Now, the cooking liquid from the pulled pork should be enough to cook your sweet potato skillet through, but if you find that it's getting dry during the cook time, feel free to add in a little bit of water. We don't want the pan to completely dry out. And that's it for the pulled pork sweet potato skillet. We like to serve this with a little bit of cheese and tortilla chips. Now, on our third day, we're going to make pulled pork burrito bowls. So what we will do is to a bowl, we'll add our rice, lettuce, some chopped tomatoes, corn, black beans, our pulled pork, avocado, cheese, and you can sprinkle with some cilantro if you would like. We like serving this with a little bit of salsa, and some sour cream is always good as well. Guacamole is always a great choice. So that is our pulled pork burrito bowl. All right guys, that is our pulled pork meal prep plan. I hope you give this a try. Remember to head over to the blog and grab your printable shopping list. And if you loved this video, you're going to love our next video because it's a 7-ingredient meal prep plan, and it's the same principle. We are cooking up a big batch of slow cooker honey lime chicken and using it in 3 different dinners. So check it out over here.